Hello and welcome. I'm Brett Connor.
And I'm Royce Connor, and this is The Best We Can Do. Here's the best we can do on today's episode. Brett and I are going to introduce ourselves, first by telling something wonderful about the other one, and then something about how the other one sucks.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so here's the story. I think it's important. Everything should have an origin story. And I think you should know ours. So we have to go back in time to wine country USA. Royce and I are sitting down, having a nice cup of Chardonnay, I think, shooting the breeze.
Minding our own business, may I add.
Absolutely minding our own business. We're sitting at a table. We're just talking to ourselves. Then there's this tap on my shoulder, and I turn around, and this lovely woman is standing there. And she says to us, "We have been sitting at the next table over, hearing what you two are saying, and we think you're hilarious.
Ugh.
You should have a podcast."
She wasn't so lovely. She had a face that looked like a Halloween store, but okay.
No, she was absolutely lovely in every way, but it did get us thinking. We are two twin brothers. We've been around this world for, dare I say, half a century. And I think we've got something to say that people want to hear.
I could have lived without the half-century thing, but okay.
Well, you lived a half century. You should be able to live with half a century.
This isn't living, but keep going.
Oh, gosh. Okay. We came together and decided, we've got something to say that we think people are going to enjoy. We think we have a really good relationship with each other. We think we have a really good rapport with each other. I dare to say, and you, dear listener, can decide for yourself, that you might be entertained by what we have to say. That's right, Royce. Entertainment.
Oh, yeah. I can see they're on the edge of their seats already.
Okay. Now, listeners, you're probably getting a sense right now of what this podcast is going to be like.
Torture.
Two twin brothers, extremely similar in many ways, but could not be more different in others. Some might say the important ways. We could not be more different.
Mm-hmm.
Have you felt an air of cynicism coming from my brother?
That felt personal.
That was personal, Royce. Very personal. Cynicism. Why?
Because other people are stupid, that's why.
Oh, my goodness gracious. All right. Let's talk seriously.
Okay.
We're sitting here. We are surrounded by all this equipment. We have microphones and headphones and blinky lights and computers. We have all this stuff. We're surrounded by it right now. We record this. Royce, in your condo. Why is this important to us? I'll give you one reason it's important to me. I've got several, but I want to start with one. And here it is. And it's going to sound cheesy. I totally get it. It's going to sound cheesy.
Jeez.
I want to spend more time with you.
Mm-hmm. Aww. That's so nice. I want to spend more time with me too.
I don't know why. At least I have an escape hatch. I can get away from you, but you're stuck with yourself 24/7. But it was important to me. We've always been very close. We shared a room growing up. Our colleges were an hour from each other. We were never more than an hour from each other ever in our lives until I moved to California and you stayed on the East Coast. But then you eventually moved too. So now we find ourselves in California, living in the same town. Our houses are 15 minutes from each other. And even still, I wanted to spend more time with you.
Aww.
Now, I'm married. I've got 3 kids. You're married. We've got lives, right? And then our lives are busy and we do all this stuff. And it's kept us from spending serious amount of time with each other. But I'm hoping this podcast can change that. That's why I wanted to start with. I wanted to start with Royce. Part of the reason I wanted to do this is to spend time with you.
That is so sweet. That really means a lot to me. I want to do this for a couple of reasons. The big reason is on a lot of podcasts I watch, like Bill Maher's, they're drinking during it. So I thought this could be another reason I could have some bourbon, especially midday. But I don't think that's going to work today. But I can work around that.
Okay, for the record, neither of us are drinking right now.
I am drinking what you think is tea.
Is that not tea?
One way to find out.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I'm not drinking. I can say that with authority.
This podcast is important to me for all the reasons you said, sure. But ultimately, I wanted to do this because it meant so much to you, and I love you so much, and I wanted to say yes to things that generally make me uncomfortable in my life. This kind of thing does make me very uncomfortable. I don't like talking publicly. I don't like being the center of attention. Everything about this is a playground for you, but torture for me. And I like embracing things that are not in my wheelhouse necessarily.
I
And
think that's great.
well, great.
Royce, that's wonderful.
Good. Can we stop recording? I could use that bourbon.
Oh no, we have so many more people to bore before we end this episode. So I'm going to explore that a little bit. So you find this, it's very interesting because you said you don't like talking, like really about having an audience, having much people. It's just you and me in a room right now.
There's honestly just you and me anyway. No one's listening to this.
That's true. No one's listening. This is pretty much for our own edification.
Mm-hmm.
I accept that fully, and that's fine. Even if you're listening to this first episode, and I hope you are, because otherwise you would never hear what we're saying.
Meta.
We are sitting here, yes, alone, just you and me. Yet it doesn't quite feel like that to you, does it?
Nope.
So interesting, because to me, I feel like it's just you and me.
Yes, I often have conversations with you with this giant microphone in front of me.
Okay, that's beautiful, Royce. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's lovely. Are you really drinking, by the way? Now I'm curious.
It's tea.
It is tea. I want to go on record. Neither of us is drinking.
Yet.
Now, episode 2, no promises. That might be the bourbon episode. Who knows?
There's going to be an episode 2. I'll worry about that
Probably
later.
not. At least the nice thing about this, we don't have to worry about ratings.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, right now we have an audience of 2. You and me.
Well, I think that audience would be very interested in learning a little bit more about us, which makes me think we should talk about our little introductions of ourselves to the audience. So here's what I suggest we do.
Okay.
I think we should introduce the other one to the people out there in a very simple way, just by saying something that you like about the other one, and then something that shows the other one has room to grow. Is that a nice euphemism for you?
I like that saying, room to grow.
Yeah, it's a nice way of saying how people suck.
Yeah, it's not a list of your abject failures.
Oh, no, we don't have time for that.
Yeah, we don't do. This is a list of growth opportunities.
Growth opportunities, like fungus.
Or other growth things. We're going to get to that. We're going to talk about it. Maybe not right now. Okay, I think what you're saying, Royce, is you'd like me to say something about you.
Why don't you tell our listener out there something about me that you appreciate?
Dear sweet listener, sitting alone, I picture you in an upstairs, maybe like a dusty attic or a reading nook somewhere. Maybe you've got little earbuds in. Maybe you're in a movement. Maybe you're in a car. Maybe. Wherever you are, I hope you're comfortable and ready to hear something about my dumb brother.
Ugh.
Oh, wait, no, the insults come later. This is the good part.
Ugh.
No evidence of this has been made apparent so far on our podcast, but let me tell you something about Royce here. The guy is funny.
Ugh.
I've always thought, Royce, that you are the funniest person I know, and you're funny in ways that I'm just not funny. For example, you can write humor. Like you can put a joke down and it's hilarious. You can set up jokes in your head and deliver them, and they're so funny. Now, this is not a joke podcast. You're not telling jokes, but I've always thought your mind is directed towards things that are funny. I wish this podcast could reflect that more. You're working on it. I know. This is the first time, and you're surrounded by all these people, and it makes you nervous out of your comfort zone. Please. Anyway, I can't think of a better person to do this with. I just find you entertaining. I mean, I do think there's a reason people come up to us in public spaces and comment that we should have podcasts. And by the way, that story I told earlier was repeated almost verbatim, like 3 weeks later at some restaurant. Again, it was just you and me, and some other person overheard what we were saying and thought, we're hilarious, you should have a podcast. It's true. I think you are just naturally funny.
Why are there so many nosy people out there listening to our conversations? I don't want to listen to our conversations.
Oh, I mean, you know, we're here to bring joy. People need it. People are hungry for it. And when they're sitting in their restaurants at their tables and they sense the joy, right? They sense the humor. They seek it out. Maybe their ears go first, but then they've been moved to speak to us. I think there's a reason for that, and I do think a major part of it is you, and yet you are just hardwired to be funny.
I have seen those people who spoke to us at cafes and such, and I've seen the people sitting across from them. And if I was sitting across from those people, I would be seeking joy as well. Those people were,
I don't know where that comes from. I saw both those people too. In both cases, this could be interesting. It was they were couples, it was a man and a woman, and it was the woman who came up to us.
Yes, and I was looking at their husband or boyfriend or whatever and thinking, you definitely could have done better, sister. She needs joy.
Can I move to the list of things to improve now?
No, I'm going to say something that I want the people to know about you.
Okay, listener, hold on. I'm coming back to it.
So, folks, there are many things to know about Brett and why he's wonderful. But what I want you to know today is he is such a great dad. As he mentioned before, he is married. He has 3 fantastic children. And the nice thing about you having children is that I don't have to have them. I have these wonderful nephews who I get to hang out with. And I just love watching you with your husband. I love watching you with your 3 sons. They are fantastic. And so much of the reason they are fantastic is you are fantastic. You certainly hold a hard line with them. I think that helps. And you just filled that house with love and joy and have reorganized your entire life a little bit later in life than many people become parents. And you've just decided you are no longer the most important thing. The children are now the most important thing. And you have created just a fantastic, loving, wonderful home centered around your family. And I just love what a great dad you are.
Oh, Royce, that is so kind of you to say. Just for the record, dear listener, we did not tell each other in advance what we were going to say here. And I don't know if I've ever heard you say anything like that to me. You've definitely expressed, the love of the kids and, sort of admiration for being a parent, but that was just beautiful what you said. Being a dad, anyone who's a parent listening, it changes you. It changes you. It brings out the best who you can be, and it opens up parts of your heart, parts of your mind and your life that you may not have even known existed. Certainly that's been my experience so far. I love my boys. They are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I am so proud of them
Mm-hmm.
in so many ways. They just do so much. They bring so much to the world, to my life. I love them, and it means a lot that you see that, and that's something positive.
And now the people out there know about it.
That's true.
All right.
Oh,
let's get into it now.
Okay.
Areas of fungal growth. I'll let you go first. I
Okay.
can take it. I'm strong.
First of all, I do not need to start listing your growth areas because they've been so readily apparent just in the last minutes we've been speaking. Okay. But for those of you who need some dots connected, I'm happy to do so. You are way too cynical. You're way too cynical.
But the world, you've noticed the world, haven't you?
I am a full-time resident of the world.
Half the time.
And I thoroughly believe cynicism is not a healthy reaction to it.
I generally hear what you're talking about, and yet the world continues to give me reasons to not have a lot of hope in it. But I have enough hope in the world to keep going. I have hope in my family, your family. I have a lot of hope in what the next generation is able to do and capable of doing. But generally, I always remember the great quote from my all-time favorite comedian, George Carlin, who said, among other things, just think about how stupid the average person is, and then realize that means half of them are stupider than that. And I find that to be true a lot.
I think what he really meant was the median person. I'm just to get the descriptive statistics down correctly. That would have been a more accurate joke.
Oh, that's something that people were hoping for. Descriptive statistics. Those ladies at the cafes really wanted to hear about that, I bet.
You know what? The mean median mode, look it up.
Oh,
they're different things, George.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
All right. Some area of growth that you all need to know about Brett. And I'll admit there actually is not that many.
Oh, I
but
know.
what he lacks in number, he makes up for in scale. People, he is the most stubborn bitch I have ever met in my entire life. And anyone who has met him for a period of time longer than an elevator ride will agree with you. He is so convinced that he is right. He will double down and triple down, and it just makes me insane. And I bet you caught hints of this. I bet you caught hints of this already during this. He is very aggressive about his stubbornness and his insistence that no matter what, he is right. And no matter what, there is only one way to do things. Every other way is stupid. And keep in mind, he thinks I'm the cynical one. Ugh. I am not. Okay, I kind of am. But he's stubborn. He's stubborn and refuses to see things in ways different than the way he himself would operate.
Okay.
Deny it. Deny it if you want.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to say in my own defense. I have had the label of stubborn laid upon me every now and then. It's true. Here's what I say. I always felt that I was more persistent than stubborn. To me, stubborn means sort of a stuck in the mud, immutability, refusal to change, to grow. And I've never quite felt that way. I've always felt more that, yes, certainly what a lot of what you said is true in that, yes, once I sort of set my mind to something, that's what I think is the right thing to do, and I do steer towards that, and I can push pretty hard towards that. Fine. But I don't just come to it willy-nilly without a good deal of thought or intention, and nor am I beyond hearing from others and making course corrections along the way. I will always say, there's a reason I believe everything that I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to know what that reason is, I'm happy to have that conversation with you. And you might disagree with those reasons, and you might disagree with the things I believe. That is fine. You had better come at me with reasons why you believe differently. And I find, a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. They have very strong feelings, very strong convictions, very earnest convictions, but they don't really have a lot supporting them other than just that feeling of belief.
I think I don't like something, but I don't know I don't like something.
Well, I just can't explain why. Like, I do not mind people who believe things different than I believe. I don't mind people who vote differently than I believe. People have different ethics than I believe. None of that really concerns me. Only those who have these different beliefs and take these different actions, but can't really tell you why. And maybe that comes off as stubborn when I have my whys, the reasons, and I stick to them. But we live in a world where the wind is always howling. And if you don't have that firm root, I think you're just going to get blown away.
Well, there's something to that. I think the reason people generally don't want to share their opinions with you is because, they'd rather bang their head against a wall. It would feel better.
My goodness gracious. Okay. I thank you for that. I think that is fair. That is a growth opportunity. I think what I'm taking away from that is that I will be conscientious about not only what I believe, but how I am presenting it. And just that said, I just want you to know, Royce, you're wrong.
Fair enough. This is what I deal with, people.
Now I've got to change the subject. There's one more thing I really do want to talk about. When we first thought about doing a podcast, we thought about it, it could be about this, it could be about that, it could focus on this specific thing, it could be more general. We definitely decided to do a more general podcast that's really this incredibly, witty and entertaining repartee that you, dear listener, are enjoying. But there was one thing for a long time we thought that this podcast was going to be about, and it is personal.
Lay it on them. They're ready. They can take it.
All right. Because it is another thing that you and I have in common. and it's a cancer diagnosis.
Speaking of growth.
Exactly. I told you we'd be coming around to this. This is not a cancer podcast. This is not a podcast for people with cancer. This is not a podcast for people who are caring for those with cancer. And it's not something we're going to talk about all the time, but it is absolutely something that we are living with now. It is absolutely something that is on our minds. And I'm a believer. So we have exactly the same kind of cancer in two very different stages. I've got stage 4 cancer. I've had it for many years now. And one thing my oncologist said to me early on, and I love my oncologist, she's great, just great. She said, "You'd be surprised how many people are walking around out there with stage 4 cancer." To which I said, "That's exactly right. Oh my gosh, you think of this as like, oh, you get stage 4 cancer and then you drop. But that hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. Nor do I have any intention of it happening anytime soon. But I think there's something to be said for getting not necessarily a positive message about cancer out there or information about cancer. I think there's so many resources for that. And I know there's other podcasts for it. And there's really great medical resources and websites. There's so much out there. And I encourage anyone that wants to know more, go to those. But here's something. If you want to spend some time with us, spend some time with this floating around the back of your mind. We can be funny and entertaining and tell these jokes and take little quips at each other and have opinions about the world and all this stuff and still have stage 4 cancer. Now, Royce, you do not have stage 4 cancer. I do. But you can still...
But I can dream.
You can... Well, you have to... There's your growth opportunity.
Ooh, I'm working on it.
Stuck down there.
No more broccoli.
No, please, no. There's no amount of pomegranate juice that's going to change you. People with cancer are out there. They're doing things. They're being funny. They're scared. They are living their lives however they need to live their life. I want us to be contributing something positive to that narrative. You know, not specifically, explicitly every time, but it's always going to be in the room with us.
You're right.
Just like it's in my bones right now.
And many of your organs, I think. Or is it?
Luckily, not really many of my organs.
Excellent
just
work.
Just one, really. And then it moved on from there.
Always room for improvement.
So, something to be warning our listeners. You may get the occasional cancer joke, and there's a reason. And a lot of people don't like it, and I understand. I truly do understand why people don't like cancer jokes. But I'm just going to say the reason I like cancer jokes is I think they're funny.
Well, and Mr. Cynic here is happy to make as many cancer jokes as you can tolerate, like your chemo.
I did pretty well with chemo.
You did very well with chemo. Your hair came back looking great. I hate that your hair looks better than mine.
You know, it's funny. My hair, I think I have better hair now after it all fell out and grew back than beforehand. Although I will say this is a true story. I was so terrified when my hair started falling out that I would not grow back, that I kept all my hair in a Ziploc bag that I still have.
Oh my God, you're like your own stalker.
I've got a bag of hair.
Oh my God, Brett has a bag of hair, everyone. All right, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'll be donating it to the Smithsonian when the time comes.
Donate it to the trash heap.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's just admit it, Royce. That's going to have to wrap up things with this episode. Thank you to our theme composer, Seth Weinstein.
And thank you, besties, for spending time with us today.
We know you're doing your best out there.
We can't wait to see you again soon. Like and subscribe so we can stay in touch.
You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and more.
Find those links, other info, and email us at www.thebestwecando.com.
For now, I'm Brett Connor.
And I'm Royce Connor.
Next time, we'll try to do better, but for now, this is
The Best We Can Do. Bye-bye.